What's up, schmucks? We're gonna talk about Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's go! Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It is the conclusion of the MCU's best trilogy, probably the only trilogy that I thoroughly love from like first entry to last entry, and it is just, let's not waste time, I'm not gonna mince my words. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is fucking immaculate. As of the time of recording, I've seen it twice and I will be seeing it again. It's so good, man. It is so good. I know the movie came out a while ago and anything that could be said has been said, but I still want my opinion to be out there because I loved this movie and I want to talk about why. So let's get into it. So the reason I'm reviewing it now after watching it twice is partly because procrastination, but also because I did want to see it a second time before talking about it, because something I've noticed with the MCU is that when an MCU movie comes out, oftentimes walking out of it the first time I go,
well, that was okay, that was pretty good,
or I'm like,
wow, that was really good,
and then I think about it and I sit on it and I go, well, okay, maybe it wasn't good, but that immediate reaction is usually positive. I don't know how they do it, but they keep making these movies that upon like immediately walking out of the theater, I'm all like, wow, that was really good, and then you think about it and you go, no, it wasn't. For example, Shang-Chi. I watched Shang-Chi once. I reviewed it. I said it was good. I said I liked it. I watched it earlier in the week before I went and saw Guardians 3, just to kind of have like something to compare it to. And I also really wanted to rewatch Shang-Chi because since it's come out, everyone says it's one of the best Marvel movies. I hated it. Rewatching it now, hated it. Not disliked it, hated it. So I think it is good to watch these movies a couple times before really like settling into like what I believe about the film. So now going forward with Marvel movies is if I want to talk about one and review one, I probably will see it twice, or I'll sit on it for a little while. So after watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 for a second time, I liked it more, honestly, which doesn't really happen, but I liked it more seeing it a second time. I love this movie. This might be my favorite MCU movie. So let's talk about the movie itself. First up, the story. I mean, it's been out for a while. Let's talk spoilers. Something happens to Rocket, so the Guardians have to go out on this galactic adventure to find a way to save his life. It's really simple, and I really like that. I love that the stakes are pulled back on this third one. You know, in the first movie, Ronan wanted to conquer the universe with an Infinity Stone. In the second movie, Ego wanted to conquer the universe by expanding himself, right? And in this movie, the High Evolutionary is not really doing that. He's not like going out and conquering the universe, you know? They pulled back on that. What the villain wants, he wants less than what the other ones want. What's at stake? Not the universe, our friend's life is at stake. But because the movie does that, instead of the Guardians trying to save the entire universe, they're trying to save one person's life. But it's someone that we as an audience love, someone we care about. So automatically, our investment in the story is already just stronger than it would have been in the previous two movies, at least for me. I also think this was the best showing of most of the Guardians. I think every Guardian here is at their best. I also think every actor here is at their best. The particular standouts for me were Karen Gillan and Pom Klementieff. I thought they were both fantastic. Mantis is my favorite Guardian. I love Mantis. In this movie, she has a lot more to do than she has in the previous movies. I thought she was really terrific. Really particularly funny, and then really badass, which I thought was great. My only real problem with Mantis is how she does and doesn't interact with Peter Quill. During the Christmas special, they established that they're brother and sister, which I really like, and that moment where she tells him is absolutely beautiful. But in this movie, coming off the back of that reveal, they only really touch on it twice, and the two of them don't really interact the entire movie. Mantis's main interactions are with Drax, which I love. The two of them are great together, but I also feel like it was kind of a waste to set up Mantis and Peter Quill are brother and sister and then do nothing with that. Like, they don't have to be brother and sister in this movie. They could just be teammates like everybody else, and everything they do would still be fine, you know? Them being siblings and having that relation to each other changes absolutely nothing about their dynamic, which I thought was kind of a waste. As for Nebula, Nebula's journey in the MCU I think is one of the more interesting. She went from being a villain sidekick, a henchman, to being like basically the leader of the Guardians. Throughout this movie, she's constantly taking the leadership position, and she carries it well. Not only the character, but Karen Gillan is fantastic in this. She is so effortlessly charming and funny and scary scary and intimidating and just really, really good. Every scene that revolved around Nebula, I was just locked in. I was like, okay, this is the Nebula show. I'm here for this. She's very good. But this is Rocket's movie. A lot of the marketing kind of hinged around that. It is Rocket's story. We are learning his origin. And I thought all of that was incredible. Just so sad and heartbreaking and brutal, a lot of it. But all of the Rocket stuff I thought was really good. And I am really curious to now go back and rewatch the other two Guardians movies and kind of see like, okay, now that we know where Rocket came from, how does that impact some of the other interactions he's had throughout those movies? As for the High Evolutionary as a villain, fantastic. The last Marvel villain that I particularly love was Namor, which wasn't too long ago, but I think I like the High Evolutionary more. I love that his motivation isn't, oh, I'm gonna conquer the world and blah, blah, blah. His whole thing is that he has a god complex and he just sucks. You don't learn about him and find out he has like a heartbreaking origin story or everything he's doing is for some noble cause like Thanos or Killmonger. He's just awful. And I love that. I love villains who are just villains. Like they're just garbage human beings and that's that. They're dirtbags and that's why they do what they do. That's great. Not everyone needs a sob story. I like it when they're just evil. That's fun. And Shakuri Awuji is fantastic in this. He's so sadistic, but he's kind of charming, but he's also creepy. He's really, really good in this. Everyone is good in this. Even the people playing small roles are very good in this. James Gunn just knows how to get what he wants. And that's another thing. Like the script for these movies, the Guardians movies, the James Gunn movies, they're all very good. You know, James Gunn writes good scripts, but the script is only a piece of the puzzle. You know, it comes down to the actor being the proper fit for that character, which, I mean, look at all of James Gunn's superhero movies. I mean, the Suicide Squad, both Guardians movies, he gets the right actors for the jobs. Him and his casting director, they are cooking every time. And even then, James Gunn writes these funny lines, these emotional lines, and he gets the actor to play the character, but then it comes down to, can the actor sell that line? Can the actor sell the scene? And they always do. I rewatched the Suicide Squad recently. That monologue that Ratcatcher has on the bus about her father, heartbreaking. I started tearing up. It's very good. James Gunn is just, okay, look, first up, I am a James Gunn dick rider. Like, I'm not gonna hide around it. He is great. I'm a big fan. And he just knows how to do this, you know, these superhero movies about these larger than life characters, turning them human, making them go through human things and breaking them and then having them rise above it. He's just good at it. This movie is very funny. It's also very emotional. I teared up a number of times, but I was also laughing a number of times. It's just a very competently written movie, and it's a very competently directed movie, and it's a very competently acted movie. It's a good movie. You know, to compare this to the last one, what was the last one? Quantumania? Yeah, Quantumania, which was really bad. You know, like, to compare this movie to that one, it isn't just a thing of like, this one's really good, that one's really bad. It's more to it than that. If you look at Ant-Man 3, Ant-Man 3 doesn't have any sense of identity to it in its characters or its direction or even like its setting. The quantum realm just looks like a green screen. There's nothing in there that made me like feel something for the world. I never felt like it was a real place. It never had a character to it. In this movie, the Guardians go to a number of different locations. You know, if they're in nowhere, they go to this weird lab place, they go to a planet full of animal people, but each of these locations have a sense of identity to them. They have an aesthetic, they have a vibe, a design, an atmosphere, a mood. They don't spend a lot of time in these places, but each one feels and looks unique and different, and as the movie's going, you're feeling that. Even if you're just passing through one of these locations, you get a sense of what happens there, and it's really good. A lot of that comes down to the set design. And if you look at other Marvel movies, like I said, I rewatched Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi has none of that. Yeah, there's like a magical place with animals. Nothing about that ever feels real or tangible or like it has any sense of character or atmosphere. And then in this movie, they're walking around a lab and you absolutely you get it. You understand like what happens here, the people that work here, you get it. And a lot of it's like on real sets and it feels that way. You can feel it, you know, like you can look at something and go, that's real. That's a real tangible thing. Whereas in a lot of other Marvel movies, Quantumania, Shang-Chi, No Way Home, I mean, take your pick. They just look like they were made in broom closets. As for action set pieces, really, really solid. I thought they were all very good. There's an Adam Warlock fight that's really good. That's another thing. Adam Warlock is great in this. I thought he was really entertaining, really funny, but never like made fun of, if that makes sense. I thought he was really good. But there is a hallway fight that's all done in like one take. Incredible. Absolutely amazing. Loved all of that. And as for like an ending, I thought it was a good ending. It's a solid ending, you know? I mean, the previous two, they kill someone in them. You know, Groot dies in the first one, Yondu dies in the second one, but like in this one, no one dies. And I think that's really cool for a number of reasons. For one, I like that we were kind of trained to expect someone to die, like between the first two and then, you know, coming into this one, you expect someone to die. You expect a big character death and you don't get it. That was cool. That was a good subversion, I thought. But I also like that they get a happy ending and it feels earned. Like, I think the MCU does have a mortality problem. I think they have too many characters that they just won't kill off. Like, why is Hawkeye still alive? Why is Hulk still alive? Kill Thor. Kill most of them, please. I don't think we need as many characters as they have. But like for this one, I wanted them all to live. You know, I was rooting for them. I didn't want anyone to die, and no one did. And I like that. It felt like an earned happy ending, you know? And as for like, will they come back? Could they come back? I don't want them to. I don't ever want to see these characters again. And I say that with love, because anyone who handles these guys who isn't James Gunn, I just don't think they'll be good. I don't think that they'll do those characters in an interesting way. And I think the actors also know that. I saw something about Chris Pratt saying that he won't come back if he doesn't feel like him coming back would honor what James Gunn did, which I think is cool. And I know Zoe Saldana doesn't even want to do it anymore, and I don't think Dave Bautista wants to do it anymore. And a lot of them want to kind of just go with James Gunn to DC. Like, Karen Gillan says she wants to be Poison Ivy. You know, like, make that happen. I loved these characters and I love this little trilogy, and I think, you know, if you bring them back for like Secret Wars or the Kang Dynasty or whatever the hell they're doing now, I don't think that would be satisfying. Make a new team that has like entirely new people on it. You know, just do a new thing, or don't do it at all. Like, we can move on. You know, the MCU wants to expand exponentially and have like 1,000 new fucking things every so many years or what have you. Like, we look how many characters we got in Phase 4. You know, we got Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, Moon Knight. We got a new Captain America. The Thunderbolts are coming. You know, all these different things, and we can move on. We don't need this. We do the Ultimates. The Ultimates are a team in the comics. Do something different. I don't know, but we don't need this, you know? Like, I just kind of feel like the MCU hits a point here. This feels like a good conclusive ending, which is something you don't get in this franchise that wants to go forever. And I think that's something that should be valued and cherished. I don't know. That's just me though. I'm sure if the price is right, what stops any of them from coming back? But I think I've spoken long enough about this. I just wanted to kind of do a quick little thing, just talk about Guardians 3, because I really loved it. I thought it was really fantastic. One of the best movies I've seen this year, hands down. So yeah, that's that. I thought the movie was consistently funny and consistently emotional. I think it is every single Guardian character at their best and every single Guardian actor at their best. In particular, Nebula and Mantis and Karen Gillan and Pom Klementieff. I think the High Evolutionary is an incredible villain, brought to life by a really fun and sadistic performance from Chakudi Ouji. The movie is gorgeous, just, you know, from a cinematography standpoint and from like a world building standpoint, the set design and the way everything looks and feels, gorgeous. And the action set pieces are very enjoyable, especially that one take hallway fight. That alone is just chef's kiss. But that's that. Thank you for watching or listening, because I don't know if I'm going to edit this. I might just put a picture on screen and just let this play. I don't know. I'm kind of tired. But that's that. Thank you for watching, and I will be back soon to review the next Fast and Furious movie, because it looks really bad and I think I'm going to want to talk about it. That's it. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you later.